Hi, my name is Ty. Welcome to The Bitter Bartender. Spent a lot of time behind the bar and even more time in front of the bar. Today, we're going to do something a little different. So, a couple of things that we're going to be talking about are things I actually made myself. So, in essence, these are gins. This is actually a kit that I got from Williams-Sonoma. I'll provide the link below in the description. And it's actually really very unique. What I like about this gin is that it's cool, like a forest, that signature gin kind of flavor, but it burns like a whiskey. Very strange. It's an unfiltered gin, which is why it's a little brown, and definitely has that kind of piney scent to it. You can definitely taste a lot of that juniper berry, but it has that kind of whiskey burn to it, which is very unique. I have not found that in any other kind of gin that I've purchased. This is actually a gin that I purchased. This was Eden Mill Oka gin, but I infused it myself with Earl Grey tea bags. So it's essentially tea gin, which is why it's so dark. I steeped it for about a week. We're just going to get a little taste-a-roo. You can definitely smell the tea. It's very good. You can taste that Earl Grey in it, but it mixes very well with the actual gin. And this stuff I really like. It's essentially my own version of Drambuie. Drambuie is a Scotch liqueur. Now, what I like about this is, well, I like Scotch. What I don't really care for this is the licorice taste. Reminds me a lot of Jaeger. Not a big fan of that. So made my own. I just took out the licorice part and I put in mulling spices instead. So essentially what this is it's Scotch with honey and mulling spices, cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And it is fantastic. And I can't open it right now. There we go. It smells like a campfire mixed with hot cider. Oh, that's delicious. So we're actually going to make 2 cocktails today. And they're kind of made up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make those. The first one we're going to be using this, and I figured I'd go for more of a tea flavor and go for essentially the Earl Grey. What makes it different from other black teas is it uses bergamot oil. Bergamot is a kind of orange that you find in Italy. So I'm enhancing that orange flavor with orange liqueur, and I'm going to add some lemon juice because it's tea. And with this one, because of the spiciness that is prevalent in its flavor profile, I figured it'd pair really well with my homemade alternative Drambuie and a little bit of maple syrup to round that out. Let's go ahead and give that a test fire. Okay, so let's start with the tea gin. So what we're going to do is we're add 2 ounces of our tea gin, our Earl Grey gin. About 3/4 ounce of our orange liqueur. And we're going to add 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. Go. And as always with gin, don't shake it, just stir it. Though one could argue because of the very strong flavors that I put into it, aeration might not really hide a lot of the flavors. However, why risk it? You're just taking away from the cocktail flavor profile to begin with, so just stir it. Plus, it gives you time to do whatever. Anyway, so I think a little bit longer. So what I did was I got some glasses, more like something I'd use for whiskey, but I like using these spherical ice cubes. I'm just gonna strain that over. It literally looks like iced tea. Yeah, no, that's delicious. That is summertime. That is delicious. It's not very sweet. It definitely has a little bit of that tartness from the lemon juice. It's got a lot of citrus, obviously from the lemon, but also from the orange in the tea itself and the liqueur I use. But that's fantastic. That's actually very refreshing, very cool. And that gin just really mixes very well. It's actually really tasty. Going for a second taste. Yeah, that's really good. All right, let's get started on that second one. And don't worry, through the power of editing, I rinsed them out because no one wants to watch me rinse out my tools. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 ounces of the homemade gin. We're gonna add 3/4 ounce of the homemade alternative Drambuie. You can just smell that, it's delicious. And we're gonna add 3/4 ounce of maple syrup. I like getting 100% organic stuff. I mean, you can use your Mrs. Buttersworth or Log Cabin or whatever you have. This is just a personal preference and what I had on hand. There we go. Let it drip out all the way because it's syrup. Alright. And give this another stir. So, you know, I mean, a lot of these cocktails that these particular cocktails that I'm making, they're not very complicated. They're 3 ingredient drinks. They basically use the premise of most typical cocktails that are 3 ingredients. Same measurements you would use for a daiquiri or a margarita or something like that. And in essence, I mean, that's all you really need for exposing yourself to layers of that liquor with what you're mixing with. It's not as sophisticated or fancy as a tiki drink, but it gets the job done. Go. And there. Spherical ice cube. Nice strain on there. Oh yeah, that's savory and sweet. Holy crap, that's delicious. Okay, so the spices really come out of both from the gin and the Drambuie, alternative Drambuie, and that sweetness kick from the maple syrup as well as from the honey in this really just kicks it up a notch. And this is almost like a dessert drink. And this is fantastic. This is for, you know, it's hot outside, you just want something like tea, basically. You want adult tea. And this is just delicious. It is a treat. And, well, there you have it. Got 2 cocktails. Don't have names for them, but go ahead and make them yourself at home. And anyways, as always, Thank you for visiting my channel. Let's get drunk.